Hello everyone, welcome to Topper IAS. So as part of our daily series, today also we will see one of the topic keeping mains in mind. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll see what monetary policy is. See, because what was in news is that bi-monthly policy statement by RBI governor, they said the repo rate will be kept at 4%. Okay, repo rate will be kept at 4%, and monetary policy stand is accommodative. Okay, meaning of accommodative is central bank will be willing to cut down the rates to increase the money supply in the economy. So okay, so we will see what monetary policy is and all. See, fiscal policy, monetary policies will be often in use. If fiscal policy is the domain of government, then monetary policy is the domain of RBI. Okay, so what exactly happens with monetary policy? So monetary policy, central bank regulates money supply in the economy with the help of various instruments. Okay, so monetary policy refers to the policy of the central bank with regard to the use of monetary instruments under its control. Okay, to achieve the goals that are specified in the RBI Act. Okay, so with that, it has been prescribed, vested with the responsibility of conducting monetary policy. This is explicitly mandated under Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. So monetary policy, it has a this power, it gets through RBI Act of 1934. Okay, so what is the primary objective of monetary policy? The primary objective of monetary policy is to maintain price stability while keeping in mind objectives of growth. So price stability is nothing but controlling the inflation. Okay, by controlling the inflation, you are ensuring the price stability. So meaning of inflation, you already know, average rise in the price levels. So if you stabilize that, then you are going to control the inflation. So why do we need to stabilize the inflation? Because inflation has n number of negative impacts. First of all, it reduces purchasing power of money. Okay, so purchasing power of money, meaning the amount of goods that the money you are able to buy today, if the inflation is on rise, so tomorrow the amount of goods for the same with the same amount, you will be able to buy only lesser amount of goods. So purchasing power of money goes down. It will impact poor very severely because larger portion of their savings is spent on consumption. Okay, okay, that is also there. And not only that, increase in prices also decreases the demand. So in a way, it decreases the investment in the future also. So keeping in all these negative effects of inflation, it is essential that the inflation is kept under check. Okay, so price stability is kept under check. That is what the RBI tries to do with its monetary policy. Okay, why? Because price stability is necessary precondition for sustainable growth. So that's why we have seen how it is. If the price goes up, obviously demand comes down. The moment there is lower demand, so industries investment also falls down. Okay, investment goes down, then all the economic activities will also go down. So that is why it is essential precondition for sustainable growth. Okay, so that is the main target of monetary policy, to ensure price stability. And other things you should know with respect to monetary policy and all. See, actually in 2016, RBI Act of 1934 was amended. Okay, why? It to provide statutory basis for the implementation of flexible inflation targeting framework. Okay, so what it made is inflation targeting is a thing, and flexible inflation targeting framework in the sense, uh, but suppose a 4% was set up plus a bandwidth of plus minus 2. So flexible. So the inflation rate can vary between these bandwidths. Okay, 2, 4, 6. So lower limit, upper limit. So a bit of inflation is always good for the economy, as it incentivizes even investor also, but it should not go too low, and it should not go beyond 6 also. So this was a flexible inflation targeting framework. And the amended RBI Act provides for inflation target to be set by the Government of India in consultation with the Reserve Bank once in 5 years. So this rate was set up by Government of India after consultation with the RBI. Okay. So from 2016 to 2021. So accordingly, central government has notified, CPI inflation as a target for a period 2016 to 21 with the upper tolerance limit of 6% and lower tolerance limit of 2%. So this bandwidth, okay, 2 to 6, 4% plus or 2 minus, okay, that is the range. This has been done through RBI Act of 1934, and inflation targeting is a main function of monetary policy, okay, and it gets that power through RBI Act of 1934. So it has statutory backing that you should remember. And there is a flexible, okay, not a fixed rate of inflation target, rather we have flexible inflation targeting framework. So that also you need to remember, okay. And as we already see, we know definition of monetary policy. So, regulate the money supply in the economy. So how does RBI does this? So it has n number of instruments to do this. So we see some of the instruments of monetary policy, okay. So there are direct instruments, there are indirect instruments as well. So we have repo rate. So what is the repo rate? See, repo rate is the interest rate at which RBI provides overnight liquidity to banks. Okay, so it will provide money to banks against collateral of the government and other approved securities under liquidity adjustment facility. So we are going to adjust the liquidity need of the banks and all, okay, by lending the loans. Okay. So this is a repo rate. So by providing so it shows there is a liquidity issue, lack of liquidity. So RBI can lend overnight to increase the liquidity in the economy, okay. That is with respect to repo rate. And we also have repo rate, reverse repo rate. So reverse of repo, so interest rate at which RBI will be absorbing the liquidity. So there will be a money supply, too much of money supply. So RBI will, what it will do, so from banks against a collateral of eligible government. So now RBI will be taking back the absorbing the liquidity that is present in the economy, okay. So in repo, if it is RBI lending, okay, in reverse repo it will be private banks, okay. The money goes from private banks to RBI. Here RBI to private banks. Okay, repo rate and reverse repo rate. Then we have cash reserve ratio also. So cash reserve ratio, that as the name says, a particular amount of cash has to be kept as a reserve, okay. So what is the amount that we see, average daily balance that a bank is required to maintain with a reserve bank as a share of such percent of its net demand and time liabilities that the reserve bank may notify from time to time. So a certain portion of amount in cash it has to maintain with the reserve bank. So this is a cash reserve ratio. So this will also help in addressing liquidity issues. Then we also have statutory liquidity ratio. So this is also a certain amount has to be certain as a share of net demand and time liabilities, same NDTL, a share of NDTL that a bank is required to maintain in safe and liquid assets, okay, like government securities and all, such as government securities, cash and gold. So in these securities it has to invest. Changes in SLR often influence the availability of resources in the banking system for lending to the private sector. Obviously, if SLR is on higher level, so money that is freely available, so more of the amount will be invested in securities and all. If SLR rate is reduced, so lesser amount of money is locked in securities. So greater amount of free money the bank can lend it to private sector, right? So this also influences the liquidity in the economy. So statutory liquidity ratio we have. Then we have open market operations, okay. So this include both purchase and sale of government securities, for injection and absorption of liquidity respectively. So movement, RBI purchases government securities. So for purchasing, it has to pay, right? So that increases the money supply. So once it sells the government securities, people who are buying government securities has to pay for it. So that absorbs the liquidity. Okay, the amount of money in the economy. Liquidity meaning is amount of money in the economy, money supply in the economy. And then we have market stabilization scheme also. Okay, this instrument was, management was introduced in the year 2004. So what happens here is, surplus liquidity of a more enduring nature arising from large capital inflows is absorbed through sale of short dated government securities and treasury bills. The cash so mobilized is held in a separate government account with the Reserve Bank. So meaning of this is, you know, uh, India is a big market, emerging economy. So worldwide, investors are interested to invest in India. So large amount of FDI comes. So whenever there is FDI inflow, obviously greater money supply in the economy, right? So that will also, impact the inflation. So to absorb such inflation trends because of the inflow of capital, what RBI does is it also intervenes by selling, short dated government securities. By doing that, it is going to, reduce the liquidity flow. Okay, so this is the meaning of market stabilization scheme. So it is stabilizing the market. Okay, because of whenever there is excess inflow of capital. So these are few of the instruments, okay, which, RBI uses. By using them, RBI will be, controlling the liquidity, that is, ensuring price stability in the economy. Okay. So the main function of RBI monetary policy is, inflation targeting, core inflation. Okay. Uh, Remember that, and that's it for today. You can also download the PDF of this document in the link that is given below. Thank you.